Going live, going live. Johnny Five is alive. What's going on, guys? Bart here with Tully Television on my blurry webcam here, hailing from you from the Tully Zone. And we're here. We're ready to do this watch along to 300. And I hope that I can entertain you guys. Maybe talk about uh, the movie 300 and maybe some things that I know about the movie, you don't know about the movie, all that beautiful stuff. I'm going to wait a few more minutes because I'm a little early. And I think I want to do this light in the background because I was hoping that these three lights I had here were going to be sufficient to show you my beautiful face, but I have to put in another one, another lights. And, but yeah, it's been a while since I've done a live, and I think this isn't going to be like the first time I try to do a watch along, but it's going to be a first time in a while because a couple of the other watch alongs I would try to do over the years. Yeah, I've been doing this for 3 years, and that's pretty crazy so far to acknowledge that I started this trek, I guess, in 2021 of YouTube and all all this beautiful stuff, as I call it, right? All the beautiful YouTube stuff, and I wish I had more time. I'm trying to do this light so I can shine a little bit more, and now I made myself look darker again. There goes my bowl, which I'm glad that there was nothing in that because I've been aggravating. This is how long I haven't done this that I'm trying to. Yeah. All right. I think I'm getting it. I was just trying to get my head without having to sit back. But yeah, here we go. I guess we can do something like this, right? Um, yeah, I'm gonna start getting this movie together. I'm gonna put the clicker over here for the computer, and yeah. Initially, when I started this channel, I'll kind of babble for a few minutes until about 8:05. 7:05. When I initially started this, I was hoping that I wasn't just going to be talking to the air and stuff like that, and with the help of our editor that we're still waiting for to be able to have the free time that he did before, Tim Smoky Bishop, right? Our guy there. If it wasn't for him or Jordan or Chrissy helping me do certain videos, suggesting video ideas for shorts and reviews and stuff like that, um, I don't think I would have made it to the level I'm at now. And again, to some people, 320 subscribers where we're at right now does to me feel like a lot because it makes me feel like I'm entertaining someone out there, right? Someone out there is hearing this old Irish bastard, so to speak, babble about comic books and movies and TV shows, music on occasion. Um, it's so hard. I've been wanting to do video game streams too. I've had another channel working the shoot that it's kind of hard to keep up with that. Spotlighting only wrestling. Uh, when you have a family, when you have two jobs outside of this, it's kind of hard to find the time to dedicate and to make content that you can be proud of. You know what I mean? Um, Even if you're a low producing channel or have lower production equipment and budget, you can still. I think the effort still comes across great on screen. That the person is trying to do the best they can with what is given to them, and that was always uh, our thing here at the channel. Let's try to do the best we can with what we got, with the ideas that we have, and the ability to buy certain things that we do. Um, and that led us to here at this moment of time, uh, a leap year. Yeah, actually, on the extra day of the year that we get for every 4 years, right? Um, but yeah, I'm gonna start. So the version I'm using for 300 is I remember it's opposite way. 300 here with the helmeted Leonidas, I guess, right? Is that yeah, helmeted Leonidas. Here's the back. Now it does have some extra features on there, like most of these Blu-rays and stuff will have extra deleted scenes and what have you. And of course, I have to kind of just do a general disclaimer and reminder that we really can't like show the movie visually on screen here. We can talk about it. I'm hoping that even if I play it, sometimes like when I played, I think I did it one time for Moon Knight, an episode of Moon Knight, but that I was actually showing the physical what was going on the screen, and I got shut down for that. And I think when I was trying to do a watch along when I was doing my rewatch of the Amazing Spider-Man animated series, right? Uh, I tried to watch a couple of episodes of that on stream, and I think they wound up muting or catching me on that somehow. Not somehow, but I forget exactly what it was that happened now, where I maybe got blocked or something like that in other countries, or just they muted the segment. So that's probably. Oh wow, it's going right into it. I thought that was going to be a title menu. So I'm gonna kind of play at a low volume until maybe I get some sort of alert here on the screen, and then maybe I'll just try to lower it where then it's not heard. I get why YouTube does it. I mean, it would be really cool to show everything and anything on stream here, but um, that's just not viable, for especially for smaller creators like myself. That's not necessarily bringing in Mr. Beast or PewDiePie money. You know what I mean? Um, but all right, so I guess I'll start the movie in a few minutes. Well, actually, I can start the movie now. But all right, so guys, if you're doing the actual watch along and you want to watch along with where I'm watching it or starting it, I'm going to start it. I'm going to count down from 5, and then I'll start it, and then whether you come in now or after, you can kind of put in the movie now or start the movie now, and whatever you're watching from this point on will be kind of what I'm watching. This movie was written and directed by Zack Snyder, Legendary Films. Legendary Pictures is starting it. This movie was released March 9th, 2007. Uh, Directed by Zack Snyder. It has a very Zack Snyder look to it. If you've seen his other movies, you definitely know what I'm talking about. Written also by Zack Snyder, Kurt Johnstad, and Michael B. Gordon. got her Gerald Butler as King Leonidas. Now we have this bloodstained 300 number on the screen, and the opening sequence is basically the explanation of when they do uh, basically looking over the newborn babies, the newborn Spartan babies, to see if there's any deformities, any. And it seems like they're doing this on a cliffside to a valley full of skulls and stuff like that on the bottom. And now we see Leonidas about 8 to 10 trying to train with his father and stuff like that. And it's meant to show you that the Spartan people are very like from a very young age, very vicious, very ruthless. Um, training their men to be the perfect soldier at the end of the day. And now, after training, Leonidas is looking at his father's shield and he's explaining to little Leonidas what it means to be a Spartan. And now, at this point, what they're doing is they're bringing him out to the fields, out to the wild to fend for himself. To the training facility here. It's it was heart wrenching on the mother there. It looks like, and he definitely looks like he's holding his own there. Out of breath, nice big black eye that's closed over. Oh, getting smashed in the spine with that stick, man, must hurt like a mofo. I guess that this is the final test, right? You gotta go out and hunt yourself this wolf or something like that. Whatever you can kind of survive the night, if you will. You know. Uh, this also has the star Lena Headley in it, who played Queen Cargo. Dominic West is Daron. David Wenham is Delos. Vincent Regan is the captain. Michael Fassbender, I think this is his first movie, and he plays Stelos. But Michael Fassbender, bro, that man turned out to be, to me, a great actor, big time actor. Uh, well, this is when Leonidas is going to make the wolf think that he got cornered, but is going to trick this wolf, so to speak. And we'll see. Well, I have to take a look at that later. Our friend Jordan, speaking of Jordan, actually sent me some funny wrestling related. But if I got the wolf there, he barefooted in the snow. Now, I mean, for this movie, you have to kind of suspend the disbelief a little bit, because how can a person, you know, be out there that long with, great exposure with limited. Come on. So, but he returns as the king, so to speak. He came back. The prodigal son has returned to take his rightful place as a Spartan warrior because he went through all that. now this is where we learn that it's the story of Leonidas is being narrated uh, but I think this Theron, I believe. Uh, but whatever the case may, I think if I'm mistaken, I'm sorry. I don't mean to make a mistake. Obviously, that's why it's a mistake. But basically, this is the narration is to reignite the passion that these soldiers have to go back and avenge what has happened, which will be, uh, exposed during the movie. I don't. I don't know why you would choose this as your introductory into the movie, right? Like, I would hope that you have seen this movie at least one time before getting someone else's views on it. Like, on this level of a review, anyway. But so here we have Xerxes' men coming to let Leonidas know that he's going to be enfolded into the Persian Empire, and Xerxes isn't looking to instill these people or any other land that he takes to do what he does. He just wants the money and the materials and the stuff that comes from these areas. And here's one of the coolest scenes I thought earlier on in the movie where Xerxes' general or messenger here comes with basically a handful, a bag full of skulls with crowns on it, indicating that they were once kings, and that basically we're here to, take you over. These are the heads of the men that also said they were not going to be taken over, right? And so we see Leonidas here training his son and giving him some life lessons before he goes to the captain here and gets explained to what's happening and everything like that. Because the queen is basically the buffer. The general comes and he's like, yada yada yada. It can have, I this can be done later or this needs to be done now. And so basically, he's coming out to talk to the messenger, and this is um, one of the senators of Sparta is there, and he's very much for King Leonidas to listen to the messenger and to take the offer and stuff like that. And Leonidas just kind of gave him another thing, like just be aware that no matter what you say here in Sparta, even if you're passing along a message from someone else, we will handle you accordingly on your approach. And and yeah, here's another great scene. A great part of this scene is when the messenger says, "Who's this woman to speak?" She says, "I'm the queen, and we give birth to these warriors." So, like, woman power. But yeah, so basically, this guy's goal is to get Leonidas to join without so much of a problem to get in there because you know you don't want to necessarily. All right, so we're at the part now where Leonidas is contemplating the offer and basically is going to let this guy know in uncertain terms that the Sparta and the people are not for sale, and basically saying he'll go to war over this, right? And this is when the guy is going to be. This actor who plays the messenger, he's been in a lot of things, and I can't remember for the life of me. Hey, eternally grateful seas. I just noticed you now. How you doing? Thank you for joining us. It's always a pleasure to see you. I'm gonna write. Yeah, I know. I'd like to see the movie too, but they're just gonna wind up shutting me down and taking me off if I do. How you been doing, eternally grateful seas? How's things going with you? We'd really like to see you back at YouTube doing your awesome DIY and stuff. Those type of videos. So let's see you back on it there, eternally grateful seas. Also, see, this is when the messenger says, "This is insanity," and King Leonidas says, "No, this is Sparta," and he kicks him down a huge well with the rest of the incoming soldiers that the messenger came with. Oh, are you going to be starting soon again? Great, great. I hope that you do. I think that everyone deserves to be heard and you know get to express themselves and share a part of themselves to the world. I think that's great. There he goes. And basically, this is how Leonardo and the rest of the turtles started a war in Sparta. No, so yeah, Zack Snyder has this really fantastic stylized look to his movies. A lot of slow mo, a lot of rotating shots, and when this movie initially came out, it was such. I mean, it's still a banger to this day. I mean, this movie is crazy, crazy good in my opinion. It's not historically accurate though, so I can turn around and acknowledge that. Um, so we have Leonidas going to talk to this council, who they let an oracle decide on what their next move should be because of that was just a tradition and hoping to get a gist on what the future was. So all right, so before, well, you could have told by the scene by the well that is kind of a violent movie, but this will be one of the upcoming scenes will be a scene where yeah, gonna see some nudity in it, right? So if if you're faint of heart, maybe don't watch nudie scenes, I guess, right? But yeah, so basically he's gonna go and try to get the council to agree to the war. There, he's explaining that there's a specific spot that they can bottleneck everybody in, any incoming enemies, and you know, take them out like that because it's choke holding, and there's no way to be around. So he has to give the money too on top of it. Crazy. Just give me 1 second, guys. I'm sorry. I just had to message somebody about something, obviously. But yeah, so here he is trying to show that he can take these guys out. Just give me a minute, guys. I want to grab that bag of chips over there. I took out. Oh yeah. So yeah, now he's getting denied to do the war because, to be honest, they got paid off too. Everyone's getting paid off, and Leonidas is getting mad. Oh no, he didn't get denied yet. He's got to see what the oracle said. So this scene is very, even though this scene has nudity in it, it's kind of like an art scene, like it's not like a sexual scene or anything like that to that degree. And she's gonna dance around and try to see what the answer is. I always wondered when it came to certain things, like this actress who does this scene. I'm not sure if she's ever done anything else outside of this, but to kind of be like, oh, I did a movie a long time ago, and it's this movie, and it's the only scene you've ever done. Ah, one of these old geezers elect her. The council members are like really golem looking creatures, bro. Disgusting, like the embodiment of corruption, so to speak, compared to the purity of the girl who's not got a blemish or a mark on her, juxtaposed against these, like I said, the physical embodiment of corruption. No form. And as we see, they were given Persian gold to deny the war. But Leonidas, oh, now we see the senator here too. So it shows that the senator and the council are both now under the pocket of the Persian king, the god king Xerxes, and all of Xerxes' men have these like really unique looking designs to them and stuff like that. Oh, now we have our another nude scene. So again, if you're not into watching nudity, just be aware of that. But basically, King Leonidas is gonna make love to his wife here, and the tones and the colors that Zach uses for this movie, I think, are very well done. I like the visual look of this particular movie. And again, he's still relying on these same old tropes from 17 years ago almost, of slow mo and this and that. I get it, but um, this movie to me was just stunning back in the day. I was so obsessed with watching this movie for years on end, and I'm kind of glad now I get to share it with you guys, right? right. And now they's about to get it on and stuff. A little lemon water there. Okay. And this is one of these uh, m- mommy daddy scenes that um, it's done again tastefully in a way. I mean, especially when it's passionate between a man and his wife, and they're both in shape, and you know all that stuff. They're doing all the. I would have to imagine how awkward is sex scenes on set, bro, because it's. I mean, like me and Jordan got into, and Chrissy actually had that conversation over the last weekend when Jordan came by for a little while. Like, I mean, I can only speak from a guy's perspective. If I was perhaps in love making scene, so to speak, because I think the standard practice is that they just use a cock sock and then the chick just, oh yeah, oh great. And that was Michael Fassbender right there, baby. Telling now Leonidas is looking at 300 men in front of him, and his captain, who's his best friend, Leonidas, and the captain are talking about how the captain's son is there, and the captain is like, no, he's ready to do his thing or whatever like that. So the plan is to take these 300 Spartan warriors and march to the hot gates, right, the Hell's Mouth or whatever, and stop the people. The Senate is out here trying to stop these guys, and Leonidas is like, "What? We're only out for a walk. Just 300 bros, just out ready to walk, man. 300 bros deep. We deep in them 300 guys." Wait, wait a minute. I'm gonna just move on from that. I forgot how long this movie is too. I don't think it's really that long. I think it's like, well, here's an easier way of finding out. Here's just an easier way. It's not. And here's his wife and son ready to send him off because he really is going to war, even though it's not officially sanctioned by his country. Hour and 57 minutes of this movie, but some of it's going to be, of course, the credits at the end. We're just going to pretty much wrap this up when the credits roll. Now the queen gives him her necklace to wear. That was another iconic scene that the wife just said is either come back with your shield or on it. That she's basically acknowledging that this might be the last time she sees him alive. And to send someone off knowing that they may not make or could not make it back, but knowing that it's for the greater good of the colony can really be a heartbreaking thing. We just got a foreshadow of a character that's going to be introduced soon. There's a guy blowing two flutes. That look fucking weird though. I would have loved to hear what he was playing. So here's another great scene in this movie. They meet the Arcadian people, right? And the Arcadian soldiers wants to travel with our guys here, right? The Spartans. And so King Leonidas, right? He's like, hey, you there? What do you do? Oh, I'm a baker. Well, hey, you over there, what do you do? Oh, I'm a sculptor, man. You know. Hmm. Yeah, what do you do over there? I'm a farmer. And then the whole Spartans, what is your profession? Oh, oh. Basically, killing, killing and maiming is our bread and butter, baby. It's our bread and butter, baby. And it really is. The Spartans were crazy. Um, I wonder if they were really the innovators of the whole shield box thing. So at camp, all the soldiers are sleeping, basically, or relaxing, and Leonidas is there contemplating life and his next moves. And we see this like deformed figure off in the distance who's been following the 300 men. And basically, what we'll learn is that this character is a Spartan himself, but the mother never revealed him because of his deformities that they knew that they would kill him as a baby. So she kept him as a secret, and that will be the backstory of that character. And now they came across a village, a settlement in which the Persians burnt down and destroyed. They're noticing footprints that are not normal or ones they don't recognize. So now there's this kid who's all messed up and tattered and bloodied, and he's going to tell them basically kind of what happened, and you know, whether you're a soldier or not, you're going to try to help this kid. And he just passes out, basically. And the kid is just going to basically. Can't really hear him. Basically, he's just telling them how the Persians came through, and just numbers upon numbers of things that are not like it was a crazy time. Crazy time, not in a good way, bro. Not in a good way. Oh, I'm sorry, I got into watching the movie. Obviously, well, they come across the site area of the battlefield there that just took place before they got there, and basically that how they leave everything like they basically nailed a bunch of people to a tree, and that's kind of like why would you do that, bro? What is the dominance that you're trying to set there? That's basically trying to set dominance up. You know, I will say if you like potato chips, this right here. Not all his chips are good, but these Ripple chips are really good. Now they made it to where the waterfront is at. Um, Little do they know that the weather there in that part of town, the country is very bad. The waters are very choppy, and they're gonna take down these ships, bro. All boats destroyed in this, and the Spartans are cheering. It's such a great looking scene, man. The way the waves are coming up and crashing. These guys are being a bunch of like celebrating, but not King Leonidas. He's not celebrating because he knows that this is only the beginning. Mm. I'm such a fat kid. All right, so here we are back at Sparta, the king's house, and there's this senator who wants to talk to the queen about the corruption, and he's going to try to get people to be by their side because he already sees that the Persians are trying to corrupt the system and take over, obviously, and so he wants to try to get the queen and some other good people together to try to prevent that corruption from going on. And we'll see if it works, right? We'll see if it works. She's really like at first not wanting to help because why would you want to help when you basically sent my husband off to fight this alone, basically with 300 other men. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So now here we are. They sent some scouts out, and they see the endless wave of Persian forces ahead of them. One Arcadian soldier and the other two Spartan soldiers. And the Spartan soldiers are like very happy about this, I guess. But Michael Fassbender's character here basically says that dying on the battlefield is the Spartans' greatest desire because think about it like with the Vikings, and they go straight to Valhalla, right? And uh, if they die in battle, and that's kind of like the Spartans' view on it. So when he sees this, it's a win-win for them anyway. If we win, we win. If we die, I still win because I died as a soldier, as a hero. And so now here we are with another ambassador, another uh, messenger of Xerxes, and he's going to really try to assert his dominance here. And so he's demanding things of these men. Yeah, here's another iconic part here where the guy is going to try to do his whip, right? Michael Fassbender's hand is going to wind up getting. Now he's noticing that they've used some of the Persian soldiers as part of their wall. Now here he goes trying to get him with that whip. Michael Fassbender looks great in this movie, bro. And then just cut off his whole whipping hand. He's gonna send him along to tell Xerxes to get the hell out of here. I love it. I love it. I love it, bro. And this guy's still gonna talk all this junk to him. He was telling him he's gonna erase him from history and all this stuff. Yeah, the way they made some of these characters look is crazy, bro. And here we have Leonidas just watching the whole thing from the top, bro. Like, I love it. I love it. He just was sitting there like, yeah, 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 yeah. I know, I know. All right, so here we have as Leonidas was watching that whole thing with the guy with the whip, right? He's with the captain discussing the next move, and we see now this disfigured person. He's got a really massive hump. He can't really lift his arm up the way he needs to. Leonidas is trying to understand that he's trying to be a good soldier, a good Spartan, but to be a good Spartan, you you're not going to be able to be a soldier here because you're going to be more of a liability than an asset. And unfortunately, that's not understood by this character because of his mother always telling him that if he sat there and really tried to do his best, that people would accept him for who he is and allow him to do whatever. But Leonidas is trying to win a war here, not try to win um, a local silly competition, right? If this guy is going to cost lives in the battlefield in war, then I can't have you out there. You know what I mean? I couldn't even get myself out there if I was out there out of shape, out of breath, right? No legs to stand on, or no hands to do anything. Why am I out there? You know what I mean? Like, um, I wound up being more of a liability than than trying to help people. Like that, my helping people is not going to be able to be fighting if I'm like in that type of character's physical situation. Now, am I overweight and could stand to lose a few pounds? Of course, but that will come off in basic training, basically, and other types of training, diet and stuff. If I was to like join a military, right, training regiment, a lot of that would be uh, getting shredded, and then I just would have to rely on my body to uh, gain the strength that it needed to continue on with the physical endurance of said military regiments that you got to go through to be able to be that perfect soldier, right? Like that's the whole point of being in the military is to be a perfect soldier for your country so you can defend the ideals and the freedoms and the rights of that country. So now this disfigured character throws away his shield, tells Leonidas that he's wrong, that he's not worthless, right? In the Spartan view, as a man, you're worthless if you're not a soldier, in a way. And now Leonidas rejecting him may just come back and bite him in the booty hole. In the booty hole, not on the booty hole, not around the booty hole, but in the booty hole. In it. In. All right, so now here's the first real, uh, well, not first real battle, but here's where the montage of tests start coming. This is like basically he's giving the big prep speech. Like this is it now. This is where we have to hold them. If we don't hold them here, everything we are doing is for nothing. And so we get one more messenger, okay, to come and be like, listen, as you can clearly see, we have a lot of guys here and this and that. Again, the Persian Empire still being very naive and cocky. And someone threw their sword all the way from the back to basically give their last answer. And so now, officially, It's on these soldiers are supposed to be. Oh no, those aren't. Yeah, these are just like regular Persian soldiers that have been accumulated through all the territories that were overtaken. Uh, the tension is building up, and we see both sides getting like here we go. And I like this camera shot where it stays in that crowd of Spartans and it gets pushed back to kind of show that the pressure that they're feeling from all these pressure, the group of people coming, you know, basically it's a big rugby scrimmage at this point. Now they're doing one of their Spartan tricks where they kind of take the middle two shields, right? Push off the enemy, stab, come back and collapse it up. The the whole collapsing of the shields for the Spartan army to protect everybody was a very innovative situation to have to get that many people to work as a unison uh, took very much skill, you know, and here we are having basically now the Spartans are able to push back a little bit, advance, leaving a path of corpses in their wake. All right, just give me a minute because I want to go turn on my heat up a little bit. I'm getting a little chilly down here. But this is all right. Before I do that, this scene right here that they're showing, where Leonidas go nuts and hitting and spearing, was one of these things that Zack Snyder decided to keep as a style. It's slow mo, blood spatter. You know, this whole the way the camera is angled and this and that. It's um, one of the big reasons for me why this movie was pretty effective for me as a great movie because, and again, taking in the fact that it's not politically accurate or historically accurate. If you just take this as a movie about a nation and his king and their king defending themselves in a general sense, then you know you'll like this movie. I again, if you're a historian, maybe you're gonna pick on this movie a little bit, right? Oh, that's not exactly the weapons they use or the shields or you know, just like I'm a nerd for comic books, is nerds for history, bro, and we should be nerds for history. But what they do now with the rest of the first wave of Persian soldiers that came, they pushed off a cliff basically, and they have to now get ready for the next wave because it's going to be like wave after wave after wave. And again, Leonidas is not really like celebrating because oh, okay. So I forgot about this scene, about this part in the movie. At some point earlier, I forgot to because again I have the volume down a little bit. Earlier, one of the messengers said that our archers will blot out the sun with how many arrows they can shoot at one time or continue shooting. And the one guy, Michael Fassbender's character, was like, "We'll just fight in the shade." And basically, that is one thing that was accurate, that interaction happened and that was what was told. Well, we'll fight in the shade. Uh, Leonidas is such a badass. There's arrows coming out of the shield, right? And he's just cuts them all down out. I really loved Gerard Butler in this movie, man. I thought he was such a BA. He really made sure he got in shape for this. All these men, I think, did a really great job on their bodies to have that dedication. And so now we're going to have a second wave of enemies coming, and we'll see how this fares. Obviously, we're almost an hour into this movie, so obviously the movie's not going to end now. They're going to keep fighting these guys off and all this great stuff. Oh, God, it still goes taking out horses' legs. Some of the way that this was shot, some of the kills is just amazing work. The cinematography on this movie is just amazing. The flares, the lenses that they use to accentuate certain things, the color palettes that they use. Um, it's a little montage of arrows. Spearhead's just shedding blood due to the nonstop killing. So now we're back in Sparta with the queen and the son, and basically we'll get a confrontation between the queen and the corrupt senator uh, to kind of put her in her place a little bit and to kind of threaten her because he's not necessarily saying anything about uh, what he will do, but he's letting her know by being near her son that, you know, I have ways of hurting you or whatever like that. And so now she's going to have to definitely watch herself when it comes to this guy. And there's another thing that this guy winds up doing also, but we'll get into that when that happens. I want to give trigger warning for that scene when that happens. Give me a minute. I want to put on my heat. Oh, yeah. Sorry. I hope Joker and Rocky kept you company for the few minutes. um. So how's everyone doing out there, man? Who's come across this so far? I hope that your day is going well. I'm just gonna check my emails there for a minute, there, buddy. And yeah, man. So here we're gonna get that confrontation between, I think, between her and she was talking to the. Come on. She was talking to the good senator a few minutes ago about like what their plans are, but this is when we'll get that creep. He's a creep. This guy's a creep. He's basically telling him you should keep an eye on your son. You don't want anything bad to happen to him, do you? And she knows now she definitely got to keep her eye on this guy. now where they're at is they're killing off any last surviving soldiers of the waves that came in, and it's so much death in the air that there's just now vultures circling the skies because, man, do they have a feast waiting for them when this whole thing is over with? Like, come on, it's crazy. Basically, they're discussing the next like moves or whatever like that because at some point you are going to start losing men, more and more men, and how long can you really sustain this type of thing? Only time if they were never sold out, the only time would have been able to be told. So now we're gonna get the first look at Xerxes, the God King. He's all done up in gold and covered, and he has like 1,000 people carrying this chair for him on their backs, and he's gonna try to convince Leonidas himself. Like that's how much that people made themselves into stairs, basically, so for him to walk down. And see now they try to show a height that I don't know if there's a real height difference between Xerxes and Gerard Butler, but they make Xerxes look so big and so tall, and he's called the God King. He looks like you look. Yeah, he looks like a freaking TikTok reject, bro. No, but just gold dripping everywhere. Mr. McDrippy here. All he has to do, basically, is kneel before Xerxes. And he basically says, I take you off by, I seem to have a problem bending my leg. You know, here Xerxes is again trying to convince him to maybe reconsider joining them because at the end of the day, he's going to unleash hells that he's never seen before, basically. And uh, does Leonidas really want to see his country be destroyed like that? His people destroyed like that at the end of the day? Because to prove what point? Like if you accept him, you can continue living your life, but always have to be worried about living on his whim, right? As opposed to not worrying about it, just taking him out, and then you can continue living your own life without the fear of him hanging over your head. Because at the end of the day, just for the decorative gold that he's got, they suck up all resources, man. So it's it's wild. Now Xerxes is getting wild, like severely angry, and basically it's going to reinvigorate uh, this process, this war, this war. Oh my goodness! All right, so they're still building piles of bodies and walls of bodies everywhere. it seems like Michael Fassbender's character and the captain's son are very close friends. All right, so we're picking back up with the Immortals, I think they're called. And the legend is that they're soldiers that cannot die. They're scary looking, silver masks, just like Arabian assassins. And they have this really big ogre looking creature. And even the Spartans are saying that the narrator from the beginning of the movie is even saying that this is going to be a tough scenario to. And so they get to the wall, right, that they've been building. They're not sure what to take of it. So now they're going to push this wall of dead bodies onto. It was basically a surprise attack. And now it's going to be their toughest challenge to date. But they're more than willing to handle their own. Obviously, to the to this point, they've really been. There goes some of the Spartans now. None of them like main characters, but now they released this giant ogre creature, and he's ready to go and take out the Spartans. But we're gonna see. We're gonna see how this goes because it is a big dude. Yo, he got no neck, no soul. Yo, this guy is just what the hell, bro? God damn, bro. Uh, Now we get to see how, and the immortals they look like they are zombies, bro. It's crazy. This battle is certainly taking a toll on them, and they've still yet to face off uh, with this big creature. Oh wow! This big creature threw the axe, cutting off some of the fur mohawk on the helmet of the king. Let's see. Oh my god! This giant is just so vicious, nasty looking. We're gonna see if he can be taken out. We'll be starting to see if he can be taken out. It's him and Leonidas, but where Leonidas lost his sword, bro. This guy is just taking everyone out, bro. Oh, right through his bicep, that sword, and he just takes the sword out like it's nothing. holds the sword on the sharp end like it's nothing, bro. Crazy. This has definitely been one of the more brutal fights that they've shown. Uh, Definitely. Oh, that was pretty cool. The giant kind of hit his helmet on the metal part, and it kind of, scraped it, nearly hitting his eye. This monster really wants to. This monster really wants Leonidas. Oh, that was a great shot. He put blade inside the monster's eye, and he decapitated him, bro. Decap fatality. So now this is where the Arcadians come and help the Spartans. So now they're going to team up. This is going to be the first team up between them since joining together. We hear the narrator explain how the Spartans are like controlled warriors. These Arcadians are wild and loose cannons, but it helps or whatever. These guys are taking on 3, 4, 5 of these guys at a time. These Spartans are pretty BA, man. The battle's going into the night. And Xerxes is just looking like he's on top of a hill, mountain there, and he's just pissed off. And they survived another round. But Leonidas is still not celebrating. Because probably in his mind there's nothing to celebrate. There's still a war. Kobe. And so now they're fighting against all these uh, different groups of soldiers again. That guy tried to run away. I forgot that there was a rhinoceros in this. And the rhinoceros is taking out everybody, including its own people. And this guy is going to try to throw a spear to kill this rhino, bro. I will consider saying this, that for a movie that came out pretty much 17 years ago at this point, the CGI was pretty decent, bro. The effects were good. Now they're facing off a squad of people that are throwing bombs at them. And so they're trying to, like, basically use subterfuge when it comes to that. And so it seems like that maybe the bombs could work, because it's really preventing a lot of these guys from being able to see what's going on. But one of the Spartans was able to get up in there and help destroy the rest of the bombs that they had. So now the greatest weapon that these guys have is now done. And Xerxes, Xerxes is still, he ain't happy, bro. Now they got this big guy with claw hands, and he ready to. Xerxes is just done, bro, with this whole thing. He's taken out one of his generals because he felt like the general wasn't doing his job. Oh my god, another decapitation. It's at least two decapitations. Now they're bringing in the elephants, bro. They're throwing everything, the whole kitchen sink to these guys. I don't know how you would even. Yeah, goodbye elephants. So the elephants they had there didn't do really much to help the cause of the enemy. We still have wave after wave, and it really seems like that this chokehold that they have really is effective, because no matter who they sent, um, bomb makers, immortal assassins, giant ogres, elephants, all these type of um, soldiers, they're not getting anywhere. We see Michael Fassbender's character in The Captain's Son enjoying themselves during the battle, joking about how, isn't this the life? Haha, two best friends and all this other stuff. And, you know, just two bros having a brotastic time, man. That's what I'm talking about. I mean, listen, if you can't go hiking for hundreds of miles with your half naked friend oiled up and on the beach, right? Then what are we even doing it for, man? What? So here we get the captain's son, feeling acknowledged from his father, like, you doing some great stuff, my guy. You know what I mean? And now there's an enemy behind the sun, and we get another decapitation, bro. Three decapitations, bro, in this movie. That's wild, bro. But the captain's son is now out. He's one of the first real characters that we maybe not considered the favorite character, right? But like a character that is like, all right, yeah, it seems like a cool dude, bro. You go out, grab a beer or whatever with. But now his father, the captain, is they called it blood drunk. Seeing his son decapitated like that, he is going to town, taking everybody out, bro. And this is one of the few times where you don't really. Wow, this guy who plays the captain is doing some really great acting right now. Like it's taking the whole army to pull him back from his son's corpse. And, Leonidas the king, that must weigh heavy on his heart because it was his best friend's son. All right, so here we get I think the last movie without a without with nudity in it, and so we're gonna see basically the ogre guy here at this orgy, basically, where all these people have like deformities and stuff like that. Um, he's getting told all his wildest wishes will come true, all his desires and stuff. And I believe Xerxes will give him that, but he's selling him obviously, sex, drugs, and rock and roll because sex always sells, man. And basically, what this humpalump has to do, this humpback whale, this hump artist, uh, has to just tell him where the path is, the hidden path is. Oh, these girls are nasty, bro. Licking this hump like that. Yo, yo, Ah, God, that was wild, bro. That was wild. Seeing him. Why is that so off? Why is it so off? That guy getting his hump licked really getting turned on by some mid. Man, I've seen better dances in Atlanta strip joint, bro. He's selling out his homies for mid strippers, bro. He didn't even get laid yet. For strippers, he's giving it up. For seeing the boobs for the first time, getting his hump touched for the first time, he sold out his homies. Selling out his homies, man. Vincent Reagan was the captain, bro. That guy. That guy. Uh, Rodrigo Santoro was Xerxes. If I didn't mention that, Tom Wisdom is Asnos. Michael Fassbender is Stelios. David Wenham is Dilios. The Dilios, the Losos, the Borrios, the Capios, the Lemon Wateros. All right, so this next scene I'm going to talk about, I'm going to give a trigger warning to because it involves SA. And if you don't know what SA stands for, it means doing something to somebody against their will when it comes to the private areas. All right. When this scene involves someone using their private area on someone else's private areas, and it's against their consent. So if that bothers you, uh, I'm giving you the warning now. However, this senator who's corrupt, who's been trying to stop Leonidas and his wife from doing what they're doing to save Sparta, he's basically going to SA her and during the whole time saying, "You're not my queen, he's not my king," or whatever like that. Very sniky, very much a turd nugget supreme here. Um, Usually things that are supreme, like Diana Ross and the Supremes, Crunch Wrap Supreme, the Double Crunch Wrap Supreme, are great. Supreme, supreme, premium. This guy is a premium jerk off. Like if jerk offs were a thing that could be sold by the pound, this guy would be the premium cut of jerk offs, bro. I'm telling you. So now he's got her against I mean, I don't know how much I really want to describe about it because it's already uncomfortable when you have to deal with these type of scenes in movies. Just regular sex scenes kind of make people uncomfortable, and then if you're adding an essay part to it. Oh no, did he? Why did I think that he did essay her? Because she. Oh, all right, he did. Um, but then try to make it seem like. Then at some point he tried to make it seem like she turned on. She tried to, like, here she's trying to give herself up in a way because she thinks that it's going to be in benefit of her husband. So that it's kind of getting done now, and it is kind of weird, right? Like she's just sitting there disassociating. Thankfully, the scene is over. We can move on to the next. So now the Spartans are recuperating. Um, our narrator had lost his eye. The captain is off to the side. Leonidas now is asking the narrator from earlier in the movie who lost his eye to go back home to let the Spartans know what type of problems we're experiencing here so we can get reinforcements and keep holding these guys back. So even though he wants to stay, even after losing an eye, he don't want to leave his brother and his brothers to this war alone, to these battles alone. Even though he's getting told by the king to go back, and that you pretty much have the excuse to get out of here now. Like, get out of here. I mean, you're going to have to come back and help us, but get out of here now, right? And so basically, uh, the guy takes off, and the Arcadian soldier leader comes, and he's letting them know that they've been discovered. The back door path to where they're at has been discovered because of the deformed Spartans info. So the Arcadian is like, we got to get out of here. What are you guys crazy? And this and that. And, da, da, da. And Leonidas is like, listen, if you want to go, go, bro. But we about this life. We about this, all right? We about this. We about that um, being that underdog, being that killing. You know what I mean? We be about that in the movie. YouTube in the movie, not me and whoever else I know personally in the movie. YouTube in Minecraft. Uh, so Leonardo. That's not the first time tonight I said called him Leonardo. I gotta laugh for myself, man. Leonardo reminds me of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Clerks animated series, right? Leonardo. That there was a character called Leonardo, I think, in the Clerks animated series. What a tangent. However, Leonidas is now giving the kind of like the final like, hey, listen, we're probably gonna go out because they found the path, they found. So we're pretty much going to be overwhelmed pretty soon. And now we have the captain here, and the captain says basically he filled his heart with blackness and death, and that there's nothing left, only that. You know what I mean? So King Leonidas is like, I got you, friend. I got you, my friend. Because they're best friends, these two. And I mean, how can you blame the guy, right? Like, not only are you giving of yourself in this battle for your country, but you bring your son as a part of this battle, and he dies. Um, and then you see it happen in front of you, even, and the way he died, it's just a wild thing to know that you have to go through, and his mother don't even know yet. Like it's wild stuff, man. It's not something that I would want to go through myself, but Leonidas basically gave him the opportunity to leave the battle. No harm, no foul. I get you, man. But the father was like, "Nah, man, I'm in it to win it, bro. He's in it to win it." So basically, the guy's going to go back to Sparta, try to get some reinforcements. He eventually does. Uh, but we're pretty much gearing up for the final battle between these guys, Xerxes and Leonidas. Because now, with the secret passage found, there's going to be no way of really, for the amount of soldiers they have left and the amount of soldiers that Xerxes has, they're eventually going to get overwhelmed at all possible angles. And he's just telling the guys, sing the songs of us, sing our hero song to everybody. As a way for the guy to kind of prove to the queen that we need more soldiers, is that he gave her the necklace from earlier when they left, and so he's going to take that necklace and uh, go let the queen know what's going on. He looks back one last time at his countrymen, his brothers, his king. He doesn't look too happy about having to leave, but he understands why he has to leave. I know. Now it's tonight we died in hell. Another great line from Leonidas there. And here we have the queen that will try to explain to the people why they need to send reinforcements. She's obviously been given the floor, and here she's going to give her plea. She's going to get turned down, and then the senator that essayed her uh, comes out and says she tried to throw herself at me, and of course I denied her because I'm a man of upstanding I don't have a compromised moral and ethical soul or nothing like that. And you're going to see what she does at this with him, because right now she's trying to do the uplifting speech of freedom, and we want freedom, and right, like we're supposed to work together to free to. I need to shave that off finally, but yeah, she's ready to. Uh, so she's. Yeah. this monologue. This so here everyone is seeming like, all right, yeah, maybe. And now he's gonna try to make her look dumb, trying to say that she offered herself to him last night. And of course, if he was a different type of man, he would be he would have succumbed to the temptation. But a little like we know he did, and that it wasn't even really offered to him like that. It's almost like it's almost like Debo from Friday coming up to him. You just kind of hand him the $100 anyway. Like, here, leave me alone. Like that was like how he took it. Like she all like yes, she knew like this was not something she wanted to do, but she kind of did it, but didn't do it. And um, yeah, the one comment he made was if I was a lesser man, I would still have her stink on me now. And bro, like, what the hell, my guy? Like, now he's trying to say her and the good senator were doing stuff together, and trying to embarrass her like that in front of a bunch of men, and as being a queen that we know that she's not like that, was very. It was another intense scene for me. I just really thought that this movie was really just good in an overall sense, man. Oh, she spit on him, and he said, "Oh, what queen-like behavior." Well, she grabbed the knife, and she is now playing pincushion with his stomach, and she says, "This gives me no." The things that he was saying to her, she's saying to him now, and his sack full of Persian gold falls out of his pocket to show that he was a traitor. So now this is a thing where they will now send more troops to Leonidas. Uh, Here we have the deformed Spartan showing him the hidden uh, entranceway. He's got like a magician's hat on for some reason, bro. I don't know why that was. And we have Xerxes there now. It's done. It's getting ready to wrap up this particular movie. It's probably about less than 10 minutes. And basically, they're going to try to do one last trick to try to take Xerxes down. And again, one of his messengers saying, like, the great Xerxes is willing to let you live and this and that. The hump artist, this humpbacked artist reveals himself to be the one to reveal like he revealed the pathway, and Leonidas just looks at him and says, I hope you live a long life. Because for Spartans, you want to die in battle, right? You know, I'm sure you'd be treated like a war hero if you survived until old age. But for Spartan soldiers, the goal was to die an honorable death during battle, right? Because when soldiers stop being soldiers, they don't know what else there is to do, right? Like you spend so much of your time training to be this perfect weapon, and then when it's all said and done, you're expected to go back and sit on your porch drinking lemonade, looking at you. Yeah, you can do that, but sometimes these soldiers that see a lot of battlefield experience, it's hard for them, man. It's hard for them coming back. I'm always up for uh, increased mental health for our soldiers here in America and for soldiers in general. But basically, we hear the narrator talking about how Leonidas is taking everything into consideration: the sun, the wind, the sweat off his brow, the weight of his helmet, because all of this grandstanding is going to be still meant to kind of like still trying to get him to relinquish, and they're at a point where you either relinquish, or if you're not going to relinquish your freedom, you're going to relinquish something else, and that's not going to be good. So Leonidas takes off his helmet. They think that they're going to Xerxes stands up. He throws down his shield. Now the only thing he's got to put down is the spear. He points the spear at the humpback and tells him, "I hope you live a good long life." That way, not only do you die a dishonorable death amongst the Spartan men, but you're gonna live long and hard. You're gonna think long and hard about what you did. He drops the spear and he kneels before Xerxes. However, this is just part of the plan, because what he's going to do is try to catch everyone off guard. He's thinking of his wife, you know, because he knows that what he's about to do is going to be pretty much one of his last few actions on this plane of existence, so to speak, right? And so what he does is to kill the messenger again. And now every arrow, every spear is getting flung. And here comes Leonidas with all of his might, throws the spear at Xerxes. Again, very nice shot. He catches Xerxes in the piercings on his mouth there and tears the uh, basically earring the jewelry out of his face. And the narrator was like, "This is the day that Leonidas made the God King bleed, or a God King bleed." Leonidas is tapped out with bows. Now the general is getting speared up. All the men are basically the captain's getting one last wind to take out these people that are taking him out. Like if this is, yeah, there he goes. All his men are going down, and Leonidas, with arrows in his chest and the rage in his heart, gives one last raw scream, a war scream. I don't know. Yeah, no one made it out. No one made it out. And basically, him and the men are taken out. And the guy who went back to get reinforcements is going to lead the reinforcements, or to try to keep Spartan safe. Michael Fassbender's character is going out. Him and Leonidas are holding hands, basically saying like, we died how we were supposed to die, and we died the heroes we were meant to be, and that's okay because Sparta basically is gonna come back from this, right, in a way. So Leonidas just gives one more last stand up, and just basically is the last Spartan standing, and basically everyone's going to shoot their arrows and spears at him until he's done. And we'll see near the end again the narrator getting ready to continue the battle against Persia and Xerxes with the other Spartan. And so now the final scene is just Leonidas just looking up at the sun and all these arrows coming down and blotting them out, taking them out. When the messenger comes back with the necklace here now, the queen realizes that when she's handed to her, that what that means, and basically it's going to have to go on without him, and kind of become the queen that her country needs. I don't really. I know some of this battle in real life, but I don't really know what happened to Sparta. I mean, obviously, there's no more country Sparta around. I believe I'm pretty sure. But like, I don't know what happened in their history after this, after Leonidas and them, because I think they really did die. Again, I'm not too sure of the real historical um, situation. I just knew that Xerxes and his quest was put to a halt by such a small contingent of people that it became like such an urban legend of like the great feats of Leonidas in the 300. And basically, the messenger is the last survivor of that initial uh, barrage that they must have seen, and giving them the ability to know what to expect when it comes to the Persian army, But the son here comes running out to his mother, and she's going to tell him that the father is gone. In a way, she puts the necklace on him to continue the father's legacy onto his son, and to raise their son like how he's meant to be raised. The Senate approved reinforcements. They're getting ready to go and uh, continue the battle. And that's pretty much the end of the movie at this point. It's the one-eyed messenger back telling the Senate about what Leonidas wanted and everything. It's going to get approved, and that's pretty much where the movie ends. Is that the good guys lose for now, but hopefully uh, will win down the road, right? You know, if you want to try to follow that path, like eventually, or maybe they eventually beat the Persians, whatever, right? The country of Sparta. But this movie was more about, in my opinion, yes, to expose a story of history in history. Again, that may not be too historically accurate, but I think that the messaging is amazing. That if you can build a community, a family together, then you can definitely accomplish a lot of different things, right? And I think sometimes we moved a long time away from that in a way of realizing that, it takes a village, so to speak, to be a better community as a community, and that we should value our ethics and our morals and our freedoms and all that stuff. And I think that this is just really not so much about being a nationalist beyond approach, but just being that dedicated to what the message of life is about, the positivity, the needing to evolve and continue to grow. That's what we should be trying to do in a general sense here in this world. Um, but yeah, I'm really happy that I got to do this finally. Watch along with you, because if it was now, there's like 3,000 soldiers there. Yes, I'm very happy we got to the levels we did with this channel so far. I still feel like we can have a lot of room to improve, as always, to grow. Uh, Always finding a way to go straight to the moon, baby. Um, if there are other movies that you like to do a watch along and live stream to, let me know down below there. If you have yet to subscribe, I hope that today is the day we earn that subscription. What do you say, guys? Um, and now the movie's over, technically, and I hope that even though you didn't get to watch the movie, so to speak, I hope you got to watch along with me. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much there. We appreciate you stopping by and hanging out and watching with us. It's like I said, if you yet to watch it fully, check it out. I think that the action in it and the way that the dialogue and everything is, the way it visually looks is great. For such an older movie, it kind of gets me out of having to do this as a retro blast down the road. Uh, and yeah, I'm really just glad that this was able to get done, because if it wasn't really for you guys subscribing and commenting and everything, we would have never reached 300 subscribers. Um, my next goal is to reach 500 subscribers, and that will start helping me being eligible to get into the partnership program with YouTube. Uh, I got a lot of things going on in my personal life with my family, the two jobs I work and stuff like that, and I'd like to maybe one day can fall back on this a little bit for money and be able to provide more entertainment for you guys. Get to spend some time with the family too, and really just enriching everyone that's involved here at Tully Television. I'm still looking to grow. I'm still looking for people that want to come and co-host or host or just be on or send video submissions, whatever it is, artwork, whatever. Let me know. Hit me up, and we'll figure it out. And I'm pretty much going to start wrapping this up. This has definitely been the longest live we've done in a long time. Maybe I should get into doing a monthly watch along for sharing giggles, so to speak, and take the time to do that. But there's always things to figure out and everything, and time. But I'm babbling, and I'm gonna stop babbling. And just again, thank you all again. I'm gonna head out now. Uh, Again, if you have yet to watch this movie, go check it out. I think it's great. It's beautiful. French kiss to the gods of movies. But as always, this has been your man, Bart, your boy Tully from Tully Television. And until next time, peace, Snuckums.